All right, I need to use my real voice. Okay, hi everybody. Hello. Oh, you know what?
All right, it's time to start the program. Hold your voices down. Heather's ready to talk. Go, Heather.
Period. All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, y'all were just talking so loudly. I know we can do better than that. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you. My name is Heather Woodard, and I am Director of Cultural and Community Communications for McDonald's USA. And we are so very glad to see all of you today. Despite the weather, despite the rain, you are here, and we couldn't be happier and more grateful for your presence today for what is an absolutely fun, few minutes, an hour or so of a program that's planned. Essence Festival is a party with a purpose, and while most of us are here for concerts and all of the fun, I can legitimately tell you that I am most excited about this event because we have a surprise in store for everyone. But when we talk about purpose and when we talk about we as McDonald's talk about feeding and fostering communities, this event is representative of that, and you will see why in just a few short minutes. And so before we get into the program, I first want to acknowledge a few people in the room because while many of us, when you come to Essence as a consumer or come to Essence as a fan of an artist, you don't truly understand or even care just about all that it takes to get here and to create such meaningful and amazing moments for communities and for consumers or customers or fans and readers and so forth. So I would be remiss if I didn't just take a few minutes to give a few shout outs to some very deserving folks in the room today. So I'm going to start with just acknowledging Vicki Chancellor. She is a trailblazing McDonald's owner-operator in Atlanta. But one of the many things that makes Vicki special, and the reason that I'm acknowledging her today, is because she is the chairperson, elected by her peers with oversight over the Operators Marketing Fund. It's actually a complicated word, but that's the best way to describe it. So when you think about the Travis Scott meal, or commercials, TV commercials, or Essence activations like this, Vicki is the leader in charge, nominated or elected by her peers to make sure that the things that are supposed to be done and happening are absolutely happening. So grateful for you and your leadership, Vicki. The next person I want to acknowledge is Marty Gillis, who is here today, and she's like, what? But Marty leads the committee of owner-operators, Black owner-operators, who are in charge of guiding how we show up, we the company shows up for the Black community. And so when we talk about doing things that are impactful and meaningful and respectful, it is Marty and her wonderful committee members. Wave your hands, committee members who are here. Yeah, that's right. It's those folks who are making it happen, in addition to running their restaurants across the country. And then the last group of folks that I want to recognize are the McDonald's McSisters, who are working day in and day out to make sure that whether it's from marketing or comms or government relations or DEI, you name it, we are committed in demonstrating our commitment, helping McDonald's demonstrate its commitment to community. So, ladies, just raise your hand so quickly. We appreciate all that you're doing to represent Black excellence at McDonald's. So, it's now time for the program. Since we all know that Black history should be celebrated beyond February, we all agree, right? We are excited to this year introduce a program in February, but to keep it going throughout the year, recognizing the importance of recognizing Black excellence all the time. And this program is called Future 22, and it is about it is our way to show and amplify and elevate 22 leaders throughout the country, young Black leaders who are doing their things from social activism to tech. We have a tech guru who is among them. We have a Black American Sign Language preservationist among them, and many, many more. And this program, again, was kicked off at the beginning of the year, and it's a demonstration of us offering our platform to them to give them more exposure and to let the world know and see shining examples of Black excellence throughout this country. So while y'all are here for the concerts, I am here to meet these young folks and to do all that we can to let you all meet them too, so you can see how excellent they are. So with that, we have all 22 game changers here today. Let's give a round of applause for that. And we are happy that you are here to celebrate them just like we are happy to celebrate them every day. So for those of you who aren't as familiar as we are with the Game Changers, let us introduce you to our Future 2022, or Future 22.
McDonald's welcomes the future. It's in the hands of the builders and the visionaries, the growers and the shakers. They're making every corner the corner office, and nothing will ever be the same. Welcome to the future. Great leaders are happening here. McDonald's introduces 22 dynamic leaders that are changing the future. Don't miss their stories on Instagram at We're Golden.
Woo! It's funny when they came in, I'm like, I know you. You don't know me, but I know you. But they are absolutely Black and positively golden. They are our future, and just so incredibly proud of each and every one of you for your commitment to community, to your families, to your hood, to the culture. It's on you. You got next, and so thank you for all you're doing. So we are now going to keep the party going. We're going to come back to Future 22 soon. Don't worry, we didn't bring you here just so you can hear me talk. But for now, we are going to introduce some dope panelists who are changing the game in their respective fields, from entertainment to marketing and to entrepreneurship. So I am going to invite my partner, my friends, my mentor. This woman is just an amazing example of leading with empathy and with excellence as well. But I'm going to invite Elizabeth Campbell to the stage so she can lead us to the panel discussion. So Liz, come on up. Woo!
Thank you, Heather. Thank you. I am excited to be here as well. I love the fact that we are honoring the Future 22, and I also love the fact that we're here during a great time. So most of you don't know, but this is the 50th anniversary for the National Black McDonald's Operator Association, and they're the ones who are responsible for us being here and for supporting this event. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for always being committed to McDonald's. Thank you for being committed to the communities in which you serve. And especially thank you for supporting this next generation of leaders. So with that, I would also like to bring forward a couple of our panelists. So the first panelist that you will see is going to be a McDonald's owner-operator. Her name is Marissa Thrower Fisher. She is a second-generation McDonald's owner-operator and owns 4 restaurants in the southeast Louisiana area, so she's repping the area, people. As a second generation, what that means to us is that this is part of her family legacy. Her parents are owner-operators, and they're actually in the room. Would you like to wave? And Marissa is continuing on their legacy. Her parents started within the McDonald's system over 30 years ago. She's here to continue on their legacy with programs like Coffee with a Cop, McTeacher's Night, Archways to Opportunity, school supply drives, and volunteering at the Ronald McDonald House that shows her drive to make a difference in restaurants and in the community. It is just as strong as the ketchup in her veins. So welcome, Marissa Thrower Fisher. Thank you, Marissa. Thank you for joining us up here.
Thanks for having me.
Have a seat. Last, I'd also like to, but not least, I'd also like to invite our next panelist on the stage. So our next panelist, who is fierce, Emmy-winning award actress, a singer, host, and entertainer. You may know her for epic roles such as Akilah and the Bee, and she was Akilah, or more recently as the voice of Izzy Hawthorne in the recent box office hit Lightyear. She also is starring in the upcoming Jordan Peele thriller Nope, coming out this month. But this is only a drop in the bucket of her work, spanning with more than 50 years of film and TV. In addition to her acting career, you can't go 50 films, more than 50 years, but 50. In addition to her acting career, you can't go without mentioning her singing career and being the youngest ever talk show host. Outside of her accomplishments, she is also a passionate activist for the causes she believes in and advocates for young people, which made her the perfect choice to be the voice of our Future 22 campaign. She's been narrating this powerful campaign of stories for us that demonstrate the change leaders that are in the industry. She has truly made a name for herself and has an undeniable impact in the industry. Let's welcome Keke Palmer to the stage.
Hello. So excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much for that introduction. 50 years I've been doing this. No, I'm kidding.
I know, girl.
That cracks me up.
That's why I'm so excited to have you here. And I love the fact that she just called it out, because that is true Keke. So thank you. Thank you. So thank you, ladies, for both coming out here to celebrate Black Joy. But in addition to what you're celebrating is Black and Positively Golden, which you guys represent. You represent that 100% in the work that you do, in the work that you do in your communities, and the work that you do in everyday life. So we're appreciative of you being here. For some, it's about giving back to the communities that we serve, like McDonald's owner-operators, or it's about celebrating our Future 22 honorees. It's about how we make tomorrow a brighter future. And we couldn't be happy to be here to celebrate this with you. So let's get started. So my first question for you is that both of you are two major game changers. You know, you're two game changers in the industry. A young woman who is running her own restaurant, who is an entrepreneur. We also have Keke, you are setting the entertainment industry on fire. But we know it hasn't always been an easy journey for either of you to get there. So tell us a little more about how you got started in your careers and how that journey has been going for you.
Okay. Thank you again for having me and allowing me to represent my family and this wonderful brand, McDonald's. So fantastic to be sitting next to you, Keke.
Same.
But really my journey starts, I would say, over 30 years ago. My parents opened their first McDonald's location in Detroit, Michigan. And at the time, I was only one, so I didn't understand, the gravity of it. But my siblings and I, we grew up in the business. I'm one of 4, so I'm the youngest. And I grew up, I started from crew. I went through a management program. I took a break and went to college where I was a student athlete.
Wow.
And then I came back into my family's business, and I really wanted to get serious about being a part of the McDonald's brand. And so I went through the restaurant management program at Hamburger University, and then I went through the Next Generation program and became a franchisee. So that's somewhat of my story, but my parents went from having that one location in Detroit to now we have 29 restaurants.
Wow.
Between
that is incredible. Wow.
Thank you.
That is so cool.
Thank you.
Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. We will definitely.
That was really amazing.
Thank you.
My journey, my parents, is similar actually to your story in terms of just, I grew up seeing my parents love the arts. Both of my parents started out doing speech tournaments. That's actually how they met. And then they started doing theater at the Black Ensemble Theater in Chicago. And then after they started having kids and stuff like that, come on, Chicago. I know that's right. Yes. And after that, they kind of started having kids and stuff. But I would hear, growing up about how they love the arts. And when I was about 9 years old, they asked me, they were looking in the newspaper and they, had auditions for Lion King in the Chicago theater. And they asked if I wanted to go down. And, I sang in church. My dad is a deacon and my mom was a choir director. So I wasn't afraid of, performing, but I'd never tried acting before. And I went down and I made it down to a couple of the, last 2 or whatever. And then I didn't get the part. And I was sad, but that was like my first introduction. And then from there on, as crazy as it sounds, I did audition for something else in the city, which was Barbershop 2. And I ended up getting the part playing Queen Latifah's niece. And then after that, my parents decided to say, you know what, we didn't get
our opportunity, you know, when we were younger. And so they really kind of wanted to make sure that they provided me the opportunities that they didn't have. So we packed up and we drove 4 days and 3 nights to California. And from there on, they supported me and helped me to pursue my dreams.
Well, good. That's great. I hope you still come back to Chicago, though.
Oh my gosh, I do. My parents are still there, so I go and see them all the time. Yeah.
Okay. And you still go to Michigan, right? You still go to Detroit?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. So Marissa, as an entrepreneur and especially a restaurant owner, you know that competition is real. How do you stay relevant in the crowded landscape?
Yeah, so it's great to be a part of a awesome brand like McDonald's that's had so much success in the industry. But us as a McFamily franchisees, we really pride ourselves on what we call QSC&V in a business, which is providing a quality product, making sure that our customers get an excellent experience. We're having clean restaurants, and then we're providing all that at a great value. But what we find that kind of separates is making sure that we're deeply rooted in the communities that we do business in. And so that's a big part of it. And then our people, our team, our staff, making sure that we're meeting them where their goals are and what their needs are. So I think when you put those two things together, community and then taking care of your people, it kind of gives you a leg up over the competition.
Good. Thank you. So there is a lot of conversation around hustle culture, especially now, and how it might be propelling us toward culture of burnout.
Yeah.
I'd like to know, Kiki, from you, how do you prioritize yourself and your time so that you have that work-life balance, and what does it look like for you?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I've worked towards it for a long time, trying to figure out what the balance is. I've dedicated a lot of my life to my career, and I think that dedication is definitely what reaps results. But at the same time, you still have to realize that, you will burn out if you don't find a way to balance and take care of yourself independently of your outside goals. And so I think over the years, I picked up on things that would help me in the way that I mentally prepare myself for that and not have the guilt of not working or the fear of, if I don't do this. And I tell myself, I'm only going to be better if I do better for myself. If I want to be good at my job, then I got to make sure I'm good on my own. And so that kind of helps me to get out of the vibe of, I feel guilty because I'm not doing everything at once. And so I implement things like doing yoga, or like I go on retreats sometimes, and it could be a staycation down the street at a hotel, or it could be just staying in your house, and not let nobody call you. I enjoy moments with my family. My family and I, we spend a lot of time together, and they help to rejuvenate me and to remind me what's important, because really that's what's important. At the end of it all you have is your family and the people that you love. And so I always remind myself to make sure that I take time to make time for them, because I want to share in these moments of achievement with them. And so it's just about trying. I think another big thing too is scheduling. I think we schedule so much of our work, and we realize that's why we're actually meeting our goals. Crazy as it is, you got to schedule your personal life too. Ever since I started scheduling my personal life and putting in hang out on this day, seriously, hang out on this day, do this on that day, it's helped me a lot. So schedule too.
Good. That's good to hear. And I think that, especially for the kids today, the fact that you can admit that and say that you have to find time for yourself, and that's the most important thing. So glad that you were able to share that.
Thanks.
So today we're joined by the McDonald's Future 22.
Woo! Woo! Y'all better go ahead, yeah.
This talented group of entrepreneurs, community activists, and creatives who, much like both of you, are really impacting our society through their contributions. And they've chosen to do it at such a young age, which is fabulous. But what is one piece of advice that you would offer to them on their journey? Maybe something you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Well, that's a great question. And I'll just give you an example. I'm a part of a fantastic organization. You guys shouted out the NBMOA earlier, which stands for the National Black McDonald's Owner-Operator Association. And we're so lucky to be celebrating 50 years of just black excellence. And really what the group does is they advocate for the black entrepreneurs, the black franchisees within the McDonald's brand. And I grew up really watching the NBMOA. And the one thing that I have seen over and over with the success of that organization is once they push through the door, they make sure that they turn around and help the people behind them. And so if I could give anything to those game changers, the Future 22, is once you continue to, excel in your lane, make sure that you turn around and help the people behind you.
And so, Kiki, you are the voice of the McDonald's for Future 22 campaign. How important is it to you to be part of a campaign such as this, and one that helps to elevate Black stories? In what ways can brands help support or continue to support people of color through representation?
Man, I mean, the representation is one way, just being out there, and giving them a platform and a space to actually speak. And I think getting to know them, there was something that, you said up here about knowing your community, knowing the people that you're trying to reach, actually making an initiative to understand how to reach them, I think is the greatest part. And also hire them and keep them a part of it, you know what I mean? Don't just, diversity is everything, whether it be women, whether it be people of color, all of that. In order to be able to know how to speak to the community you're trying to reach, you need to employ them and make sure that their voice counts and make sure that they're getting paid for it.
Yep. Thank you. So this question is a little bit for both of you all. So feel free if one of you want to jump in on this one. But as you know, the theme for Essence in 2022 is Black Joy. Theme is Black Joy. So for both of you, what is your definition of Black Joy, and how does it factor into your career? And does it influence your decisions at all?
Wow. Definitely Black Joy. It's a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
When you just said it, what came to me, my definition of Black Joy is like my family. You know what I mean? That's like, for me, like being able to enjoy, just mundane moments with my family, you know what I mean? Just laughing, talking, hanging out, watching our favorite shows. That, for me, is Black Joy because, we talk about working, we talk about, just where I came from. There was a time where my mom and my dad had to work themselves to death, so when we are able to actually rest and enjoy one another and not fear, what we need to do next, that is like that's what we all deserve. We deserve to be able to rest and enjoy one another as is. So that's what makes me think about Black Joy.
Yeah, and I'll hook on to that. I think when you said Black Joy, I really thought about Black excellence and just immersing yourself in Black culture and enjoying it. And I've been here in New Orleans for 7 years after moving from Detroit, and I feel like New Orleans is Black Joy.
For sure.
Yeah, so when you talk about the music, the food, the jazz, everything kind of started here in New Orleans, and understanding the people here. So that helps me with, connecting with my staff and my team.
So one final question. So both of you are very authentic and you're very down to earth. I've seen you both in interviews. I've seen you interact with people, and it's very humbling in terms of the way you both behave. You have right now Future 22, young people who are really getting ready to set the world on fire. How do you make sure that you maintain that part of yourself to make sure that you can be authentic to who you are in this society today?
I think that's all about the people that you keep around you. I try to be surrounded by people that are always going to keep it real with me, that really love me for who I am, that don't just love what I can do for them or love what comes with my life or the industry of entertainment. And I know I keep saying it, but for me, that's family. My family, my mother, my father, my brothers, my sisters, they keep me grounded and always remind me of what's important and why I started what I was doing and why I'm still in it, and it's for the love and for the art, not for any of the other things.
I couldn't agree with her more. It's about family and keeping yourself grounded. I have a 2- and a 5-year-old at home. Wow, awesome. And so, thank you. And so, my husband is my partner, and he just helps me to stay grounded and make sure that, Kiki talked about it earlier, having that balance for not only my mental wellness, but my physical and my spiritual wellness too. So just having that balance of family.
Thank you. So I am pretty sure that the Future 22 here have learned 1 or 2 things from you. They've learned a lot from you in terms of the way that you carry yourself, in terms of what you are attempting, how you've looked at your life and how you've grown. So thank you for both sharing that and the golden nuggets that you shared today. There's also another reason that we are here, which is really about celebrating the Future 22 and all of their inspiration. So Kiki, you were the voice of the inaugural campaign. Do you have anything that you would like to say about the future?
Yes, well, thank you so much for having me and having this conversation with me and Melissa. I've enjoyed you. I'm going to need you to get your numbers so I can figure out how to get me 29 restaurants, okay? But I want to ask the future 22, if they don't mind, to come up here and line up in front of the stage for me, please. Let's give them a round of applause. You guys, I have had the wonderful experience of, learning the stories of the future 22, these dynamic change leaders. I'm just so proud of you guys. I mean, everything that you've been doing is incredible. You make me feel like I need a couple more jobs, really, that's really saying something. I'll wait till you all get up here because I have a special guest that I want to bring up. And y'all really came with the looks today, all right. Come on, fashion stars.
They look great.
Right, it is giving family reunion. I am so, sorry, go ahead, I'll let Jasmine get them ready. All right. I was just going to say I'm so inspired, you guys, by everything that you've been doing. And I want to bring up a special guest, Vicky, if you don't mind coming up here. I know there's, oh, wow, that was quick. Wow. I know you had something special. When you
call, I come.
Yes, I love that. I know you had something special that you wanted to say to our dynamic 22 future leaders.
Yes, I do. But good afternoon, everyone, and I hope you are enjoying yourselves. It is definitely McDonald's pleasure to be able to have all of you here. And thank you, Kiki.
Thank you.
And hello, future 22.
Yes.
And whoever said you're styling, they were absolutely right. You look good. Okay. As they said, I'm Vicki Chancellor, and before I go any further, because this is one of the lessons I'm going to teach you, always acknowledge somebody, okay? And I want to acknowledge my husband, David Chancellor, okay, who has supported me in everything that I do. And as you continue with your careers, you'll find out there's always someone. You heard Kiki, you heard Marissa, they both talked about people that supported them.
Oh, man.
So let's all give it up for these future 22.
Future 22, woo! Woo!
And each of these game changers has played an instrumental role in Black excellence, in elevating the next generation. They're shattering barriers, creating a better tomorrow, and we can't wait to see it. So this is why they have me up here. And hopefully, the announcement that I'm going to make is going to make all of you, uh-oh, she said, uh-oh.
Come on, McDonald's.
Okay.
Come on, McDonald's.
All right. So, I am honored to announce that each of you game changers will go home with $10,000 each to fuel your missions, passions, and relentless drives.
All right. Okay. They're giving out checks and McMuffins. They're giving checks and McMuffins, okay?
So you heard it right. We're here to present a check for $220,000.
Woo! This is amazing. Let's get up in here. Yes, come on, McDonald's Future 22.
Tiara, Alexia, Veronica.
Very serious.
Girl, this stage.
This is incredible.
It moved when I was looking.
Yep. McDonald's.
Wait, Mark.
I'm definitely down for that. All right, guys.
Marty, stage, please. And all the places getting in the same
Good. Your dad? Okay. Make sure you step in and say hi. Glad to see you here.
Marty. Marty, can you get down here with, and Joni, can you all get down in the front? In the front. In the front. Good club.
Y'all ain't got no room yet. He said, if y'all want me to say, just say you want me to say. Hilarious. Oh my gosh, thank you. And that was so kind what you said about really showing love to the people that support you. That's awesome. God bless you and your husband. That's amazing.
I'm gone a lot.
You're a boss girl. You're a boss girl.
Support that.
Yes. Who's canceled? I don't know about that. Oh, who's talking about? Now, who am I? I'm looking at the big camera down there. I know that's not right. Okay, looking at you. Okay. Future 22. That's awesome. That's awesome.
One more, real quick, one more. We got one more photo,
Jasmine said we're doing a photo shoot. Exactly. Mine too. Thank all of you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy for y'all. This is so awesome. Seriously, good luck on all your endeavors and just take your time with it. Be some bumps in the road, but you'll get back going again. Yep. Absolutely, yes. Y'all better turn it up. Oh. Why y'all hyping me like that? Y'all know I'm doing.
So, can I get y'all to take your seats, or I'm gonna keep the $10,000?
Hey guys, with everyone.
Well, yeah. Let me just wait a minute. Get it. Hey, hang on 1 minute.
One with everybody?
Roland, 1 minute. Hang on 1 minute. I'm gonna.
You're good? We have another check of 10K too, so they may want to take a separate picture with you with the separate people.
So before hello.
Stay up here, Jasmine.
Hello. So before I leave the stage. Hello. Like I said, I'm gonna take that 10,000 back.
So do you have to fly a lot?
Before I Ooh, thank you. Shh. Before I leave the stage, I would also would not be doing my job if I didn't ask all of the McDonald's owner-operators to stand, because they're the ones that send in the money for the marketing fund.
Wow.
And all of the McDonald's employees, because they're the ones that help us to create these programs.
That's amazing.
So please stand and give them some love.
All right. It's incredible to see the business structure. It's so like just to see how it's just like wow. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. All righty. Yeah, I know, because we just so loud. Yeah. Yes, please. Thank you.
All right. That concludes our program. Everybody, feel free to continue eating and enjoying our beverages. But thank you again for being here. Congratulations to the Future 22. Thank you, McDonald's owner-operators, for all you do to help us feed and foster communities. And have a great Essence Fest weekend, everybody, and be safe. And thank you, Kiki, Marissa, Elizabeth.